Alright, nerds, I got a very special video for y'all. So, this is a video targeting struggling traders, traders who don't have a strategy, traders who are still figuring it out, but they don't know exactly what they're looking for. They don't, they're looking for that next step up in their trading career. Well, I have this special sauce for you. It's called Notion.so. This website is amazing. It's free, and you can upload a bunch of data to it nonstop for as much as you want. And it's amazing for a cheapskate like me because it's free. It's great. But where I'm getting to is, as a beginning trader, the only way you level up is by reviewing your work and by playbooking. If you don't know what playbooking is, I highly recommend reading Michael Belfiore's book called The Playbook. And the message in that book is very simple. Every single session, you need to playbook something, a setup. You need to archive a setup that makes sense to you. And what that essentially looks like is, if I go back to any of these folders, this is like years worth of reviews and a bunch of stuff. This is even from when I traded individual names, but you go in here and you can see I have charts that I annotated of a setup that made sense to me at that time. And what this exercise does is that it leaves a little subconscious imprint in your brain of exact of the exact setup you need to look for in real time. So, for example, if you playbook something, let's say a pullback, you playbook it 6 times out of the month. Playbook it maybe on Tuesday, Friday, then again next week, and again next week. Each time you see it, you playbook it. You add it to your playbook. You add little details of what made sense to you. What was it? Some volume? Was it candles? Was it time of day? Was it the daily trend? Was it the intraday trend? Like whatever it was, you add all the details. You draw it all out on the chart. You take a first. You take a screenshot. I forgot to mention that. You take a screenshot of the chart and you just annotate the shit out of it. Everything, all the detailed info of whatever makes that trade make sense to you. So with that, you will also have months if you do it consistently, and you need to do this every day. Like I said, even if you don't trade, find one setup per day at the end of the day or in real time, whatever. As you're at your desk and you see something that makes sense to you, screenshot it, annotate it, add all the details that make sense to you about that trade. And what you'll see is that if you do it for a whole month, you'll see that, okay, out of this whole month, there was a specific trade that happens at a specific time almost every day. And now I have physical data to prove that. And also, I have memories of me reviewing and charting and annotating this trade. So it's like when you see it unfold in real time, you'll have so much more confidence to pull the trigger on that setup and manage it accordingly because at this point, you've seen it plenty of times. And the more and more you do this, the more and more of that data that you have to compare and contrast each other. For example, when I, about 6 months into playbooking 2024, about 6 months into the year, I realized after reviewing all this data, I sat down, I was like, all right, let me do my 6 month review. Sat down and I was able to gather some interesting info. Most of my setups came at 10 a.m. Most of my best setups came after 10 a.m. And some of my worst and most losing trades came in the first 15 minutes and after 12. So what do I do with that data? I mean, that is an amazing piece of data right there. And now I know that if I just wait out the first 15 minutes and wait closer to 10 a.m., I'm most likely going to get rewarded for my patience. And also, if I shut it down after 11:30 or, as it gets into lunchtime on Wall Street, I'll most likely keep the money that I've made. I'll most likely stay green. So screenshot a setup that makes sense to you every day. Add it in here. Add tags to it. Whatever makes sense to you. You don't gotta copy mine. Add tags to it. Is it a day? What kind of daily setup is it? Are we uptrending? Are we in a range? Are we whatever? Interest setup. Okay. Do we have a level of interest? Do we have a pullback? Is there some sort of an indicator you might be using that's showing you something? What time was it? And I like to group my trades on 15-minute breaks within the first hour, and then by 30-minute breaks after that. And then I rate them. You should really only trade A and A plus trades. But if you're a beginner, I get it. I completely understand if you don't even know what your A plus is, especially if you don't playbook. I actually have a nice guide for that right here in the think tank. The think tank is free, by the way, so if you want to check it out, it's under the resources criteria for A plus trade and index, posted by Kyle, and that has pretty much everything you might need to know what to look for as far as an A plus trade goes. Anyway, months down the road, you'll notice that you have gotten so much more confidence at trading the setups that you're now knowing. The most beautiful thing about this is, like, months down the road, you're actually doing this consistently every day, just 2 months, just 60 days, you'll notice that you're a lot more confident as a trader now, because you know when to trade, you know when to not trade, you know what to look for, you know how to get into it. And that's just from playbooking. I'm not getting into reviewing. You should be reviewing every day too. And what that looks like, we have a template for this on Opinicus, but it's pretty cool too. I kind of customized it to work myself, but essentially log your trade in here. Let me show you a live example. No, it's bad. I didn't even read this day, but show you something like out of last month. So log your trades in here, and all the information about the trade inside. Get your pre-market checklist that I didn't fill out, so obviously why I lost money that day, and then some prompts for actual review of the entire session. But doing these things together, your growth will be so fast. And I really, really, really wish I did this when I first started, because I wasted like 3 years of full-time trading. Well, less. It was like a year and a half, 2 years of full-time trading, and I didn't review a single thing. I did review and I did playbook, but it wasn't to this degree. It wasn't detailed. It was very willy-nilly. It was very unprofessional. And if you're gonna be a trader, if you're gonna try to make this your main income, you need to treat it like your profession. You need to be a professional about it. Therefore, you need to be doing all the work. And this is exactly what it is. It's playbooking, reviewing, and constantly doing that every single day, doing it every single week, every single month, and your progress will be so freaking quick. I've shared this method that I use personally on playbooking to my friends who don't even review. It's funny, they don't even review. But just playbooking alone helped them identify, just like a month of playbooking help them identify exactly what their best setups are. And now they nailed them with confidence. So hopefully this helped some of you guys out, and even if it's just one person. If it did, or if it didn't, comment, ask questions, give me some feedback, and I'll see you in the next one.